That was an exciting view into your desk.
Just the laptop, actual laptop camera. It defaults to, so that's fun.
Nice. Wasn't sure if anyone was going to show up.
Do people not come to the later ones?
I mean, I think just attendance in general has been spotty with summer and vacations you know, uh, and now school coming back. I don't think it's to do with this spot. I think this is our most uh, busy time that we have usually out
Yeah.
of the two. Since you are back, I haven't been able to take meeting notes when we do have these because the document is now owned by the CNCF.
It's owned by the CNCF.
Yeah, yeah. Joe knows, and I requested edit access. It goes to like projects at cncf.io, but I don't have access. They never approved it, so I don't know how to get access to our docs again, and I don't really want to create new ones because yeah, these seem
So much
fine as
history.
well. Yeah. So yeah, since July 24th, we've not been able to edit the docs. And I think Joe also didn't have edit access for what it's worth.
Okay. I guess that would have been good to know like 30 minutes ago.
Oh,
Mostly because I was in a meeting with the CNCF people.
oh, cool. You want to give a update on that? Or can you on a recording? I don't know how that goes.
Yeah, I can give an update on it. It wasn't private. It is the stuff I linked to in the leadership channel. Uh, so Heroku is a platinum sponsor of CNCF, so one of the things we get to do is we get to bug them on stuff, I guess. Um, and so they, I think graduation process has been somewhat in limbo-ish,
Mm-hmm.
um, with some of the TOC overall. And basically there's this doc, which again I shared in the leadership Slack at least.
Cool. I haven't looked at that yet.
It's in one of the threads where I talked about the meeting.
Cool.
So I took this at the airport on Tuesday, so it was extra fun for me. But they said most of our stuff actually looks pretty good. So Bob Killen, who was is very familiar with the process, basically wrote this doc for us, and then said it's public. Like, it's not meant to be private, so everyone in the project can
Right.
read and look at it. And if people not in the project also look at it, it's fine. But a lot of the things we have to do is basically update documentation.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Cool. Well, that sounds great. Yeah.
um, so yeah, it's like we have the security thing, make sure there's documentation on who's on it. And one of the things as well is for the diversity thing is, uh,
Put your affiliation. Yeah.
yeah, they also want affiliation.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting to me that they said the name of the person is less important than
Yeah.
affiliation, but
Yeah. Yeah, well, they don't care about they don't care about de-anonymizing some random GitHub contributor who happens to be like your main contributor, right? As long as
yeah.
they have their affiliation, which is interesting to your point. But yeah, I'm not too surprised to hear that, I guess, as long as they have their
The Yeah, the code of conduct stuff we'll have to talk about.
yeah. I knew we had talked about it before and trying to make sure that our code of conduct, you know, is based off of it. Uh and yeah, like I think we did one update already on it to kind of make sure that we were in the
yeah.
same.
Um,
So.
The other big one, which I think will be the one of the hardest things for us, will just be figuring out the recordings. So some of the stuff they talked about, um, yeah. So they said you don't have to go and backdate all 3 years, but ideally maybe 2025, which is still not a small amount. And then
Hmm.
Betty was also talking about just trying to cross post some stuff and said they could help with some things around other YouTube channels for that as well. So like when we do the maintainer talks and stuff to get them posted on our YouTube channel, essentially. So part of this is just the appearance, like you don't want the project to feel like it's dead, because it's not. And to make it easier for that level of maturity of like when you go to a project, it is active because it is, and it's easy for people to get to find things. So uh that part, and then yeah, updating the roadmap. Um the tournament thing wasn't uh mandatory, but it was just a thing they suggested.
Okay.
Um and then basically suggests also having more than one team lead, so it's not a single point failure. But I think part of it is we also don't have enough, I think, people working on stuff to actually have that. So kind of figuring out how to kind of grow those things. And then um, the other big one is that the the general technical questions doc that I think we've been pointing to a few times. So we're not required to fill this out, but they suggested us to do it if we want to expedite the process because this is what someone in the TOC is going to have to do. And so if you've basically done their homework for them, then it makes it a lot easier. So they can just kind of go through and vet those things versus having to go and hunt and figure all that stuff out themselves. Um,
Yeah.
so it's kind of in our best interest to make it easy for them versus when they go have to do it, like maybe they can find the thing or they can't. And if they can't, then it probably is a dig against you kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, and then the other thing kind of at the bottom that we talked about was Betty was asking like where we are in the list. So there's 2 projects ahead of us. And so uh they weren't promising anything, but they think that if we go and do all these things
Hmm.
in the queue, that we could probably be shooting for a KubeCon EU kind of thing if it
Okay.
all kind of works out, right?
Yeah.
Um, so
Well,
obviously they
that
still have to
makes
do all the
sense.
interviews and all that stuff too.
Yeah, I
Uh,
think as the year, gets closer to the end, and we have some moratoriums and stuff kind of at our employers, then I think maybe I can, dive off into some of those. So maybe look to delegate some of these things, as many as you feel comfortable delegating, to at least kind of get a start on some of this stuff, to me.
yeah. So I think the most amount of work will be obviously the doc, and then
Yeah.
someone needs to just take lead on figuring out the YouTube thing.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole, yeah,
Logging
everything with
into
the
this
YouTube
the
stuff
Zoom
for
account
sure.
and figuring that out. But that's I mean a thing we have to do. And so uh yeah, but yeah, those were basically everything we kind of went over and kind of just generally talked about it. So
Okay. Nice.
um but so it looks like we're in the queue and we have some stuff to do. So that doesn't seem too bad.
Yeah, doesn't sound too bad at all. Makes sense.
Uh what is the I know you were working with because I've kind of been out for the last month and change. You've been working with Juan on the M stuff?
OEM
He
stuff.
said
Oh yeah,
he
yeah.
was working with you
The
on spec changes.
execution,
Yeah, execution
execution
environment.
environments. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, we talked about that a little bit. I think it's ready for. I think there was there an open question maybe. I think the RFC needs to be. Did the
Updating.
RFC get merged or is it not? I don't think it's
Yeah, we
merged
merged
yet.
it.
Did
Or
we?
by we, I mean I merged it.
Okay, good. All right. Um, yeah, I wish I could remember exactly. I wish we could have had notes before, but I kind of forgot, and so I don't remember all the details exactly. But I think Pack was pretty good. Lifecycle needs to have the work done and merge stuff in. Um, but I was waiting to make sure that maybe the spec needs to be updated.
Yeah, I
Maybe the
think he said
RFC
he
is
was working with
clear.
you on spec stuff.
Okay, I think yeah, I think that's where we're at. I think we just need to get a spec PR up that matches the implementation that and the RFC and make sure that there's no divergence there.
Okay. The I would like to there's some of this where I think there's some use cases coming up in at Heroku that could be good fit for
Okay.
this if it happens. Obviously we'd
Yeah, I
have
would
to
like
update
it
our
to
build
happen.
packs, but you can imagine like kind of the dev dyno stuff where wanting to basically build like development. Like I feel like your options these days, if I want a development environment generically, right? If you think
Hmm.
about it, it's like you can maintain or build a bunch of Docker files. You could just use like a base image, a builder image, whether it's Heroku or whatever. And then at built, like basically if you have some root or container access thing, you can install the stuff you want and then have that image, right?
Yeah.
Uh, and I think the use case is like you have I think like common stuff these days, like I have an AI agent thing. I want to be able to run a thing the agent wrote in some environment, and it's going to be in some language, right? They wrote it in Python. The agent wrote a thing and used Pydantic, so it's going to run in Python, or use whatever LangChain thing wrote in Python or Node or whatever, right? JavaScript. And so I think there's potentially an interest of like there's probably multiple ways to do that. And I think a probably reasonable one for us is like if you had dev an exec environment for development specifically, you could just, for instance, install Node or like Python, install Python, install UV, and don't run them, and then let the agent basically
Yes.
do that, right?
Yep. Yeah, we
And
played
so,
around with some of this in the past several
yeah,
times, and so this is
yeah,
all familiar. But yeah, I think this is a very good step in the right direction. Having these like execution environment so that it's different, and build packs can take those steps that make it
exactly. And
different.
I think it'd be a lot like the stuff I've talked with Yehuda about. He's always like, "Oh, what you want is you want the build stuff, but you don't want to throw it away." I'm just like, "No, I think you don't want
Yeah,
I don't think you want that because that's a lot of extra compute
yeah,
that you're doing. Like, if I don't need to run UV, I shouldn't run UV as part of the thing and just save it, right? Like, I should have a thing that explicitly knows what it needs to do. And obviously, like installing, setting up UV, installing Python is going to be the same logic between like a production
yeah.
build and a
But
development
they
build.
but they are different, yeah, right? Because like on the build one, like if you're gonna run on a fatter image, then like it's way faster to compile Git, for instance, if you don't have to make it a static build, right? And you can do like dynamic library linking, right? And so I think it does
Yeah.
make a big difference, like knowing what your target is. And so like
Yeah.
knowing that it's dev, you can take some shortcuts to make sure you're not spending too much time like building it in like production grade mode with like concurrency with like extra like checks on and stuff that you don't need for developer environment versus like a production like performance thing.
Sure.
So yeah, I think that makes sense.
So, I mean, I don't know if this will like solve that use case and I'm missing some things, but
That gives us another tool, yeah, to think
yeah,
about.
I think like I think it's probably better than maintain like I think for any company it's like probably better than maintaining a bunch of like Docker things that like what happens if you need more than one language, then there's that problem too. I think it's hard to like layer tools in without building your own custom image.
Right.
But I guess the benefit of the images are like you are maintain them out of band, and so any kind of thing could just spin up the image versus having to build the image at whatever boot time or whatever. But, but yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think it's cool. Yeah, I think we can. That's it. I mean, it's mostly uh,
it feels like it's super
it doesn't really
close.
impact lifecycle very much. Like
Yeah.
I believe there's like almost no overlap in lifecycle other than like we need to pass it if it's present and like do some negotiation based on the API version, whether it's present or not. But other than that, like I think there's very little that lifecycle did. And I think we played around with it. There might even be a PR out there for this, right? I don't remember if that happened or not, but
Yeah. Yeah, I think
there
you
was at
spiked
least
a
a
thing a year
branch.
ago,
Yeah,
in December.
yeah.
So yeah, I
So
guess I'm
there is
just
an
curious,
active
like
environment
it
hacked
seems like we
already.
could probably ship a thing within
Mm-hmm.
the next month on it if we want to.
I think so. Yep. I think it makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think we need to get the spec finished up. So I think pinging Juan on that, since he did the pack side of it, because I think it's mostly a platform spec and
Okay.
build pack spec. Yeah, I guess it's mostly build pack spec probably. Uh, and then I can help with the life cycle spec
Pl
stuff or whatever that side
Platform
of it.
side. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever we kind of once he's like, yeah, this is exactly what Buildpacks are expecting compared to the RFC, I can help like iterate on the other side of that with you
Cool.
probably. Okay.
Cool. Sounds good.
All right. Well, yeah. I guess it's just you and me. I'll let you go. Get some
All
time
right.
back. All right. We'll talk to you later.
Cool. See ya.